What's up, family? Welcome to Watch Me Go Broke, the YouTube channel where I liquidate my bank account, buying as many budget watches and hidden gems as absolutely possible. Now, if you're new here, obliterate that subscribe button, smash that like button, and join the wild ride of spending recklessly. Now, I'm gonna spend recklessly on questionable watches so you don't have to. Welcome, guys. It's really a pleasure to be here with you tonight. So tonight's wrist roll wrist check is brought to you by Croton and the Credit Suisse 1 gram bar. This is a diamond and gold plated watch. This is a vintage watch from Croton. Okay, it's a little over 20 years old. This is the original strap. And of course, the best part is, look at that. We have a Credit Suisse 1 gram Ignet. We do have diamonds around the outside on the bezel. We have small diamonds on some of the indices there as well. 3, 6, and 9. Look at that. Beautiful. Now with gold hitting an all-time high, this watch is probably the only watch in the world guaranteed to go up in value. We have a full review coming out on this watch very soon, all right? But today what we have at hand is we're going to get some Swiss watches, okay? And we're going to pop open the back. We're going to take a look at the movements. We're going to see what makes them tick, all right? These are going to be the watches that we reviewed in the last video, the $35 mystery watch box, okay? We ended up pulling away with about 10 Swiss watches, all vintage, for only $35. You can't beat that. So I've got a couple tools here that's going to help us pop these backs, all right? So we have the magnifying glass here, so hopefully we can take a look at the movements. We have the case cracker right here. This is my favorite case cracker. I've had 3 of them, but this one has a very, very sharp, thin edge, and it gets into a lot of the watches that I am not able to with other tools. Now, I also do have a screwdriver here as well, just in case we need to pry anything out. And last but not least, we may need to use this as well, which is the case back pusher, closer, something or other. What is this called? If you know what this is actually called, please put a comment down in the comment section. But yeah, this is to put the back on some of those hard watches. You know, sometimes the case back is extremely difficult to get on. Well, this is going to go ahead and take care of that for you. Now, we may or may not need that, but it's always good to have it on deck. Check out this, guys. This is a watch ring that I scored. It's beautiful. This is stainless steel. Has a stainless steel band. Has a beautiful pearl dial. Gold numbers, gold hands. This is obviously a quartz movement, and this is one of my favorite ring watches. I'll put a link down in the description section if you want to pick one of these up. But let's go ahead and grab the first watch here. As you can hear, my cat wants to be a part of the film tonight, so excuse that. All right, so here we have a Genova. Okay, this is a Genova anti-magnetic Swiss-made vintage watch. Again, we reviewed all of these in the previous video. We take a close look at each one, but I didn't have time to crack the back, okay, and take a look at the movements. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to take a look at these movements. All right, so let's see if we can get this first case back off here. You got to look for a little indentation. Sometimes they're hard to find. I think I found it right there. Oh, there we go. That one was pretty easy. So let's go ahead and take the back off of this. And there she is. Oh, wow, the whole movement was coming out, in fact. go ahead and set this down. So here's the movement, guys, that's in that Swiss Genova. I really like this watch. These are all utility watches. You know, they're not finished like a high-end luxury watch would be. They're all utility watches, but these are beautiful nonetheless. Look at that beautiful movement. And of course it does work. Beautiful. Not bad at all. So that's going to be the inside of the Genova. And I wasn't really expecting it to just flop out of the case like that. There we go. You can see that nice balance wheel right there. Sometimes these watches, these vintage watches, they have a dust cover that's over the movement. This one didn't have it. So let's go ahead and put this back on. Let's see. What does this say? This says diamond tooled, electronically timed, anti-magnetic, Swiss made. Go ahead and make sure we're centered up. And usually you can just kind of pop them on. Let's see, where's the indentation? There probably should be an indentation on this case back. What is going on? This movement keeps moving around. Oh, there it is. All right, let's go ahead and make sure you line up that little indentation there with the crown stem. And boom, she's back on. Let's go ahead and wind her up and see if she's still working. Had to give it a little tappity tap tap, but there you go. As you see the subdial, maybe I think it needs a better wind. You're supposed to wind about 30 times, so that was definitely not enough. There we go. All right, we got enough power. Now you see that subdial. Beautiful. This is a really nice vintage watch here. All right, so that was the Genova, Swiss made, anti-magnetic. Okay, the next one that we're gonna pop open here. Let's go ahead and open this band. The next one we're going to pop open, let me flip it around, is the Dorsel. So this is a Dorsel or a Dorsel waterproof. And all of these are mechanical. Okay, they're all mechanical watches, none of them are automatic. I really like this watch as well. Again, full review, guys, up close look on the previous video. I will put a link down in the description section for that. But let's go ahead and pop this open and see what kind of movement this baby has. Let's see here. Where's the indentation? I don't see an indentation on this one. I'm going to try to come in here right by the lug and see if I can get, oh, I did, I got under. Okay, perfect. Let's carefully take off this case back here. Beautiful, let's see if we can zoom in on that. So this is the movement inside the Dorsel. This looks very, very similar to the movement that was on the previous watch, if you notice. Again, these are workhorse utility movements. Yeah, these are workhorse utility style. So let's give it a little wind. See if we can get that balance wheel to start ticking. Has a rather smooth movement for being, 30, 40 years old. Most of these watches are from, oh man, they gotta be more than that. Most of these watches are from the 60s and 70s. So they're probably closer to 50 or 60 years old. They still work like a charm. Beautiful. Let's see if this one has, does this one have a notch for the crown stem? Nope. So this one can pretty much go on. However, I don't see any writing or anything on it. Let's go ahead and pop that on. Oh, I heard the click. I think we're on. Yep, perfect, we're on. All right, so that was the Dorsel. Let's go ahead and get the next watch that we're gonna be taking a look at tonight. This one here is the Lucern. And I really love this watch with the two-tone bracelet. This is aftermarket, it's a different finish than the case, but I love this watch. The only problem is it doesn't work. It's been overwound. So on another video, we're gonna probably take this apart and see if we can repair it. Let's see if, I think I left it kind of loose. Let's see if we can. All right, let's see. We're gonna have to use the ball. All right, family, so here we have the rubber ball for removing case backs. I almost forgot that we were gonna need this. Now, a lot of people blow these up. Of course, you can use a ball needle and you can inflate this. I like to use them deflated because I can roll them up and get into tight little spots. I noticed that when the ball is inflated, it's really hard to get it in there to get the case back off. So pro tip is leave your ball deflated. All right, let's go ahead and put this on there and see if we can open it up. Here, let's pop this if we can. Give us a little bit more working room. You know, normally I would take off the bracelet when I'm going to be doing any type of work or getting into the movements, but just for the sake of time and for the sake of this video, we're just gonna take a look at the movements. See how the ball gets in there real nice and easy? When it's fully inflated, it's so hard to get it in there. You really have to take off the bracelet if you're gonna be using the ball inflated like that. May have to go a little bit more. There we go. And there is the movement inside of the Lucern. This is actually a pretty nice looking movement. All Swiss made watches, guys. Can you believe that? I ended up with about 10 Swiss watches for $35. If my camera would just focus, we'd be good. There you go, there's an up close look. This is an interesting movement. Again, these aren't all fancy. You're not gonna see all the, you know, finishing and gold and gems and all of those things. These are utility watches. These are working watches. These are meant to be used. Some guy probably wore this on his wrist for 40 years and, you know, took it every day to work. That's the Lucern. And again, this one, it's overwound. I wasn't able to get it working. Sometimes if you give them a little tap, they'll start working. This may just need some oil. Okay, we do have a gem right here for the balance wheel. This may just need some oil to get it working. Yeah, it may just need some oil. Let's go ahead and give it a little dap of oil here. Okay, gave it a little dap. There we go. Yeah, she's still overwound pretty tight. I don't see that balance wheel moving at all. Yeah, this one's gonna need some work, guys. We're gonna have to do a repair on the Lucern, but that's a whole nother video. Today we're just taking a look at the movements. So let's go ahead and put this back on. Let's get our ball here. See why I like it deflated? In my opinion, it's way easier to use. All right, so that was the Swiss-made Lucern. And I really want to get this one fixed because I think this is an awesome 60s or 70s style watch. All right, the next one that we have here, what is this? Amron anti-magnetic. So with these bracelets, a lot of time you can just flip them upside down like that, see? Without having to remove the bracelet, and it gives you full access to the movement. Again, normally guys, I would be wearing rubber gloves. I would be removing all of the bracelets, but just for the sake of time, since we're just taking a look at the movements, we're just gonna go ahead and pop them open and see what we got. All right, I think that's enough. No, a little bit more. Okay, we got that case back popped. Go ahead and put that down. This is the Amron. Again, nothing fancy, but these are awesome workhorses, right? You know, utility watches. These are 50, 60 years old, man, and all of them are still running except for the Lucern that we just saw, the one that was overwound. All of these work. Notice how all of the movements are kind of made the same, right? Oh, we got the little spacer in there. Coming out. And it's ticking. Swiss made, baby. Later on, I'll probably take them all apart and oil the jewels. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Be careful not to cross thread. It's good to take your time when you're working on watches. When I first started, I tried to rush, and you know, that's how you make mistakes. And that's how watches get damaged too, by rushing. So take your time, enjoy it. You know, it's very therapeutic, and it's actually nice. It's fun tinkering, right? I love to tinker. I don't know about you guys. All right, let's see this next one. And I have the magnifying glass for these because these may be a little difficult to see. Let's see if we can find the notch. That's what's really great about this tool, is even if there is no notch, you can usually pop it right there by the lug. This one's a little more difficult. Let me see if I can find an indentation. So So this one was pretty, whoa, this one was pretty difficult, to be honest. Oh, wow. Look at this movement. Wow, that's a beautiful movement. That might be the most beautiful movement out of all of them. That has a really nice movement, and it's actually finished really well. I'm quite surprised at the movement on this one, guys. This one has some finishing. Beautiful movement. And again, they all work except for the Lucern. Now these watches, guys, are going to be for sale on my eBay store. So if you're interested in picking up any of these watches, hit the link down in the description and you can pick these up for a super low price. They'll be fully oiled, tested, ready to go. Now this back was rather difficult. Okay, so 12 o'clock's up here, so. Okay, so 12 o'clock's up here. Let's go ahead and put the case back on, right? I really hate when case backs are put on upside down or crooked. It kind of bugs me. Now this one was super difficult, so we're probably gonna need this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on to the machine here. There you go, you heard that click. Be very gentle with these because the first when I first got this tool, I went a little too hard on a watch that had a large case back and I was using the wrong size of those plastic pushers there, and I kind of damaged the case a little bit, so be careful with that. All right, so we got that on there. Nice, easy peasy. Now I'll put a link down in the description section for this case back pusher if you need one. This is the Atlantic. That had a beautiful movement in there. I'm gonna have to look this watch up and see what it's worth. That had a really beautiful movement. All right, she's still ticking. Let's see the next one that we have here. This is a Norman by Lux. Anti-magnetic, and down on the bottom, of course, Swiss made. So this has one of those bracelets that rips out all of your arm hair from the 60s and 70s. I know you guys love those. But these are easy because you could just, boom, flip over the watch. You don't even have to take off the band in most cases. So let's see. This is going to be a snapback. So let's see if we can find a little notch here somewhere. All right, so this one does not have a notch, so I'm gonna come in right here by I'm gonna kind of use the lug as leverage. That seems to be the best place for, I keep bumping my camera too, bear with me guys. That seems to be the best place if there's no indentation. All right, so we got that out. Why did it feel like the whole movement's coming out? Because it is. All right, so there we go. The whole dial and everything came right out. So we're gonna have to be very careful with this one. Let's see how we're gonna get in here to look at the movement. I'm gonna just lightly see if I can pry up this movement, pry up this dial here. Oh, you know what? It's still on. So this one's a little tricky. Because it wants to bring up the whole movement. So the case back is still attached to the movement here. So I really have no idea why this would come out like that. Snaps in, but when we try to pry off the back, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to see the movement in this one, guys. This is gonna need a little bit more work for me to get off the face without damaging it. Let's see if this is still ticking, or did we completely wreck it? Yeah, she's still ticking. Next one we're going to take a look at is this Alice. This is the Alice Flower Power Watch. It looks like this is going to have a snap back. Hopefully there's an indentation. I really like when there's an indentation. It makes it a lot easier. And as you can tell, guys, I am no expert in watch repair or anything like that. I just got started popping open watches and trying to fix them and stuff. So you can probably tell I'm not a professional at this at all. What is going on here? Okay, so that's a dust. It's got a dust cover, and again, the whole movement's popping right out. So this is the Alice, and let me see here. Okay, that dust cover is on there pretty tight. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get that one off either. Let's see if I can get in here, right under the movement and the dust cover. There we go. Beautiful, we were able to get that dust cover off. And here's the movement inside the Alice. Tiny movement. There's the movement inside the Alice. We got the balance wheel right there on the side. And again, I'm probably gonna take these apart again and oil them up. Okay, so this dust cover has a little indentation. I don't know if you can see that, but that's gonna match up with the crown stem right here. Okay, we'll go ahead and pop that back on. Let's get the case. We'll go ahead and pop it back into the case here. There we go, she popped in nice. Then we'll go ahead and get the case back here. Let's see, where's 12 right there. Boom, beautiful. There we go on the Alice. And last but not least, this one is not a Swiss watch. This is a Timex cocktail. I just need to fix this bracelet here, it came off. But this is a cute little Timex cocktail. And this one works too. So let's see if this one has an indentation. A lot of times they don't, man. You gotta kind of just, you gotta find a little space, or like I said, use the lugs sometimes. It's very difficult to do without damaging scratching the case back. Let's try to get it from this side maybe. Half of it's up. Try to pry it in right there. Okay, so this looks like this whole movement wants to come out too. That's weird. Yep, the whole movement wants to come out. Dang it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on getting that separated. Work on getting that separated from the So I guess she ain't gonna show us the goods today. All right, that one went back on nice and easy peasy. All right, so there you go, man. Those are the movements that were inside the utility Swiss watches that we had here. I think really by far the best one, I think the best one was this one over here. I think it was the Amron. Was it the Amron or was it a smaller one? No, this is the one. The Atlantic. Let's take another look at the Atlantic, because that one had a beautiful movement and it was way different than the rest. So let's take another crack at this one. Oh yeah. That's a beautiful movement. Can you see the difference, guys, on a finished movement? Look at this movement. This movement is finished. It has more jewels. It has gold parts, gold gears, gold balance wheel. This is just a much better movement. You can tell right away from the utility movements to more of a refined kind of luxury style movement. Beautiful little movement. I like the movement in this one. Really nice. Okay, so we got the Atlantic there. And I believe this one required the pusher, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll go ahead and put it back on there. And very lightly, very carefully, and you'll hear the snap. That's it. And then I go around the edges just a little bit more, very lightly, just to make sure it's on. And that's it. All right, guys. Well, that was the movements inside the vintage luxury Swiss watches that we got in the mystery watch box. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, but that is going to be a wrap on this little adventure. Now, make sure you smash that like button, okay, if you enjoyed this, and definitely make sure you subscribe, guys, all right, for more questionable purchases that may or may not completely obliterate my bank account. All right, family? Well, it was a lot of fun looking at those vintage movements with you guys. I hope you guys have a great day or a great night, and until next time, keep spending, keep regretting, and remember, watch me go broke so you don't have to. Keep on kicking and keep on ticking. Watch me go broke.